Dunedin North and Dunedin South Registrar of Electors Dee Vickers is gearing up for another election year. The woman behind the nuts and bolts of the voting process in the city is here to tell us what that will involve. Good evening.
Good evening.
Now, first of all, tell us a little bit about what your role entails.
Well, I guess my role is to ensure that everybody who is eligible to be enrolled is enrolled, and also to maintain the integrity of the electoral roll so that at any time it's 100% accurate. And of course, given that we are dependent on the information that people give us, sometimes it involves a bit of running around and chasing people up to make sure that things are as they should be.
Now, the national election is planned for September. What has to be done locally before that time?
Well, it's a continuous attempt to get everybody enrolled. Whenever somebody moves house, they need to update their details with us, because your enrolment is based on where you're actually living. That places you in an electorate. So, you know, it's an ongoing thing that we have to do, that whenever you move or change your name or details, you need to let us know.
Now, speaking of moving house, something I've just done myself, I did forget to update my electoral roll details, but I got a letter all the same. Now, how does that happen?
That letter would have come from a data match that we've done recently, and we do these several times a year. And it's not a sharing of information, but it's simply looking at where, say, it was your driving licence or your motor vehicle registration, where that is registered to, which address, and does that link in with what we have on the electoral roll. And if it doesn't match, then we send you a letter to say, well, which one is right.
Very clever. Now, Dunedin has quite low voting numbers for local body elections. How do we fare at national elections?
National elections a little higher, but still not good. The Electoral Commission is working very hard now to work out just where the problems lie and what we need to do about it. Since 1981, there's been a steady decline in voter turnout. For instance, in 1981, there was an 89% voter turnout, which we're happy with. 2011, the last general election, that had gone down to 69%, which is not good at all. My job at the moment is to get as many people enrolled so that they can at least have the chance of voting. And our big problem always is the 18 to 29-year-olds. So if you take Dunedin, the two Dunedin electorates as a whole, we're missing 13,000 or so young people who need to be enrolled. We know they're out there, but they've effectively disenfranchised themselves.
What's being done to get them to sign up?
We work with as many different groups as we can. For instance, at the start of the year, we always go to the university and do orientation week, which is always very successful. The university is very supportive. We go to all the schools and enrol the 17-year-olds plus, because the 17-year-olds can go on the provisional roll. This year I'm really going to target the hard-to-reach people, the ethnic communities, the people where English may be a second language, those sorts of people. I targeted for the local bodies the disability groups. That was very successful, and I'll be doing that again too.
Is there any message in particular that you're keen to get out there to voters this year?
Just about everything that goes on in our lives is politically based one way or another. And so the people who say, well, I'm not into politics, actually they need to look at their everyday lives, and they would be surprised at how much politics, which sounds very dry, actually affects them, whether it be the corner dairy selling legal highs, which is topical at the moment, to licensing laws, all those sorts of things. They affect our everyday lives, and we really do need to be involved and engaged. It's our democratic right and also our responsibility.
Registrar of Electors Dee Vickers, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.